Hey folks, Adrian here. Welcome to Wild Bush and Grit. One of the most crucial aspects for any successful hunting expedition is the attire you choose to wear. And it's not just about comfort, but it's also about safety and stealthiness. I've been miserable countless of time hunting moose, deer, sitting in the cold, just wanting to turn around. It took me lots of trials and error. I've already made all the mistakes, now you can avoid them. I live in Canada, strong and free, but mostly cold, and I've done a lot of winter camping that has taught me a lot actually. This video will not focus on boots, footwear. I already made a video about that, it's very specific. I'm gonna put a link up there, but you can watch it if you don't know what type of boots you should be wearing for cold hunts. 3 things I want to share in this video. The first things are my cardinal rules. So you can run with it, understand the basic principle of it, so you can build your system with your own budget. And no, it doesn't need to be Sitka or Kuiu, and also highlights which part are essential, where you need to splurge a little bit of money and where you can save money, so you can have a balanced system. Second thing I want to do is show you my actual system, you know, what I wear all year around. My system is good for all season. It's layer based, so I can wear it in summer, spring, fall, winter, doesn't matter. So I truly only have one cardinal rules, which is to never use cotton, and whenever I can is to wear wool, okay? Regardless of the season, whether it's summer or winter. And the reason for that is cotton, as soon as it gets damp or wet, becomes a heat sink. If this is the layer that you're wearing close to your body, you're gonna lose heat rapidly. Synthetic is better, but I truly prefer wool. So of course, I will use a mix of synthetic and wool. I don't use all wool, but especially when it gets really cold, I'll try to favor wool, all right? So my system is layered base, and what does that mean? Basically, you have 3 layers, all right? 3 types of layer. You have your base layer, your mid layer, and then your outer layer. The role of the base layer is to wick the moisture out, okay? To not have anything damp or wet touching your body. The role of your second layer is your insulation. This is where you want to retain all the heat possible through that second layer. This is the mid layer. And the outer layer is where you protect yourself from the element, whether it's the wind or the rain. All right, so let's start with the base layer. So I have a couple of options here. Here in Quebec, we have a company called Combi. This is my thickest layer. It has almost like a fleece-like texture on the inside, and it's great, perfect for super cold temperature. You know, when I'm going up north for ptarmigan hunt, this is my best base layer. It's very thick, very warm as well, and that fleece, and it's all synthetic, right? So it's wick the moisture out. This is a merino base layer, very soft. It doesn't itch on the skin. I also have the the bottom part, and also have a Kuiu here base layer, which is also merino, and I love them. You know, I wear those all year round. You know, I could just barely wear this in summer. So about the base layer, I think this is where you need to spend a little bit of money, you know, to buy from reputable brand, because I believe this is probably, I would say, equal to the outer layer in terms of importance in your system. So buy quality gear. Merino wool is awesome. Synthetic also work. I use it. But don't skim here, because this is really it's the roots, it's the foundation, okay? And you need a strong foundation to build the rest. Then mid layers, and usually this is where you can save a lot of money. If you live in the north, like I do, you probably already have a lot of clothes that will actually be suitable for this layer. The role of that layer is to maintain insulation. This could also be a base layer, technically, but I love to wear this on top of my base layer. So, you know, in summer I will wear, maybe if needed, like in spring when it's getting warm but not too warm, I'll wear a lighter layer as a mid layer, like this, or even this also. This is an Arcturus. It already had the flash orange, so when I'm wearing this, I don't need to put on the vest, the orange vest that we need to put on here in Quebec. Then my main bulk of insulation comes from thicker material. So when it's getting colder, this is where I'm gonna wear, if possible, pure wool. It doesn't need to be merino wool, okay? Keep your merino wool, if you're tight on budget, keep your merino wool for your base layer and buy, this is lamb wool, and you can buy regular wool for your mid layers. Those mid layers are really cheap, and this is where you can save money because you already have a couple of options at home, and if you were to go outside and buy some other, you don't need to buy high-end brands like you would for your base layer, for example. Hoodies, I love hoodies, and I have a fleece hoodie here, and honestly, this is probably, I discovered this, was it last year? Yeah. Bearskin. I was seeing their advertisement on Facebook, which was a little bit garish, and I didn't took it seriously for a while, and then at some point I was like, you know what, let me try that. And honestly, it's the best hoodie I've ever owned in my life. I was so impressed when I got this that I actually bought right away a second one, okay, for I had the plain one, now I have a camo version of it, and I bought a third one later for my son when he wanted to hunt moose with me, so I started outfitting him, and I bought one for him. So bearskin is what I like the most about it. It's how it's actually made, the construction of it. The fleece material is great. There are tons of pockets everywhere, and it's very warm. It breaks wind a little. It's better than the average hoodie that you'll have out there, for sure. And also, one tips about fleece material, when I was saying, your attire should also provide stealthiness, and I really prefer anything that's one of the reasons why I like wool and not all synthetics, but like some fleece material like this. You can brush on branches when you're walking through the deep woods, and you will not make sounds with wearing fleece. So fleece is great. I can wear many layers of mid layers, and the way I will do it is I will have some smaller, some larger, so I can put the smaller sweater first, and then I can add on with larger and larger depending on the level of insulation that I need. And when I'm hiking, going through the woods, I can peel off or add as needed. One of my best pants for the winter is made by Big Bill. It's all wool. I'm sure if you watch my video, you can see me wearing this dozens and dozens of times. I use that when temperature is really low, okay? They're great, they're very durable. I had those for like maybe 5 years now, and they're still hold up, no tear, nothing. A bit of discoloration and chaffing here and here, but nothing that will alter the functionality of these pants. My favorite pants of all, let's say it's not so cold, like early fall, fall, spring, even in the summer I can use it, is the Attack pants by Kuiu. I really love it. I absolutely adore it. It stretches, it has venting zips on the sides. The cut is great. The comfort fit is perfect. I wish it was a little less noisy, but it's fine. I mean, I really love them. I'm gonna put a link on the description to get these pants. Warning, I'm Kuiu affiliated, and I fully endorse Kuiu on their gear apps. I love my Kuiu gear. That being said, your system does not need to have any of those high-end brands. Okay, you can do very well without using the main Sitka, Kuiu, or whatever. So what I'll do for the outer layer is my first outer layer is going to be a wind barrier, okay, or a windbreaker that is not waterproof. And what I mean by that is, where is it? I'm gonna wear a vest. So this is a Sitka, okay? I can wear as much as insulation as I need. For the arms, I don't quite, maybe need it. I have others as well, I just don't know where they are right now. But like, for example, you want a tight knitted material that will break the wind. But the most important aspect of the windbreaker is it's not waterproof. Bing! And for water repellency, I use the Kuiu Chugach, I don't know how to pronounce it. So those are the pants for the water, and I have the top here. Okay. And yes, these pieces will cost you a little bit, all right? I really love this one as well. It's so far never been wet. Probably at some point I'll have to retreat it. It's coated with some DWR or something. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's not Gore-Tex, but you know, just like Gore-Tex, know that it's when you want something that is fully waterproof, it cannot breathe. Okay, even Gore-Tex people claim that yes, Gore-Tex breathe. It does a little, but as soon as it's saturated with water, it doesn't breathe anymore, and you get wet on the inside. At least that's my experience. Now the question is, why don't I use this as a wind barrier and for water repellency at the same time? The issue I have here is just the cost of these. It's really high, and they're very fragile. Okay, even if you know, manufacturer will often claim that they're durable and all that. I prefer to really take care of my rain gear, because this is the last barrier for me, you know, to not get cold if it's wet. And I want to preserve them as much as possible. And I'd rather have something maybe cheaper, maybe more durable, that can effectively breaks wind. Oh, actually, breaks wind. This is a great wind stopper from Sitka. And it's great. It's very regular. It looks nice. The fit is tight, and it has a very soft texture. Not super noisy, which is good when you're going out there. You know, it's better than, for example, using a material like this. This is a Jetstream jacket from Sitka, and it's a wind stopper. Okay, it's not waterproof. It's water resistant, but not waterproof. So if it's windy, you put that on, and if eventually it gets wet, it starts raining, then you can add your waterproof layer. Now to finish, for headgear and gloves, for the gloves I like to use two-piece system. So the first one is a thin glove that will act as a base layer, especially if you have sweaty palms like I do. And that layer is really to wick out the moisture, and then I will add a very thick wool glove on top of it. I live nearby an alpaca farms, so they're making their own stuff, which is great. I can close it. If I need to use the rifle, I just open it and I have my finger. I also have a neck scarf, which is made out of alpaca. Really comfy, very soft. I love alpaca. And then of course, you end up with a nice toque. All right, so that's it, folks. That's my system. Now, how I got hypothermia to begin with in summer. I was bear hunting. It was late during the season, and it was actually the last day of the bear hunt, which is summer, and I broke my cardinal rule. We had intense heat the entire week. Every day was super hot, and I started wearing cotton. Okay, so I had a cotton shirt on me. I had my waterproof layers in my backpack, and then I set forth to hunt. I started hiking a bit, and then I reached my bait. I sat. I was a little bit damp already, and I had my first layer was a t-shirt. Then I had a second layer on top of it. Then it started running like crazy out of nowhere. This was already late in the day, okay? And when I hunt, I usually have a lot of electronics gear with me. You know, I have my cameras, all the stuff. So like I scrambled to actually put all my electronic gears away from the rain in my backpack, all properly sealed. But by the time I've done that, I was completely soaked. So there was no point in putting my rain gear already, right? So I was like, well, let it be. Time went by, sun went down, I'm in the forest. As soon as the sunlight died, temperature dropped, okay? So no kidding, we were maybe at 27, 28 Celsius during the day, but as soon as the sun went down deep in the wood, I was on the cliff, so there was wind from the valley. going. And temperature, I don't know, I can't say the exact, the precise temperature at that time. It felt like it dropped to maybe 12, 15 degrees Celsius. And I was sitting, I was waiting patiently. I was feeling a little bit of the cold, but I didn't realize how much cold I was. I waited till the very, very end of the hunt, completely dark, and then I stood up from my tree stand and I was like, whoa, something is not right. I started shivering, like, I mean, uncontrollable shivering. I struggled to come down from my tree stand. The hike back to the truck was hell. You know, I remember trying to unload my rifle when I was on a tree stand. I lost all fine motricity. I was shaking so bad that it took me almost forever. And when I reached the truck, I have an old Land Rover Defender. There's no button to unlock the door. Just putting the key into the hole took me forever. I had to lean on the truck, use 2 hands to actually put the key in the keyhole to be able to turn it. And then once in the truck, I undressed, I turned on the heat, everything, and my car is manual, so like even shifting gear was hell. Everything was hell until I actually reached camp. Undressed everything I could, started a fire. I spooned my dog for 2 minutes under the blanket, then the camp warmed up and then I was fine. But I went back online and then read a little bit, and that was stage 1 hypothermia. And the only reason, like if there are lessons to be learned here, is first, I broke my cardinal rules, wearing cotton. And second, I underestimated summer, okay? How temperature could change drastically. It's not because it's summer that temperature will not drop, especially when you're losing the light. So that's it, folks. This is my video on the clothing system. If you probably have your favorite gear, please do chime in the bottom. If you want to help this channel and you set on buying some KUIU gear, please use my link. It's an affiliated link. It helps me output more content. And also, I just received mud boots from KUIU. Just bought them. They're fairly new on the market. Looks really good. I'm going to compare them to my muck boots. I love my muck boots, and I'm curious to see how the KUIU boots, mud boot, will compare to these. All right, folks, this is where this one ends. I hope you enjoyed it. If I missed something in the comments, please let me know. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.